There is a moment your body knows before your mind admits it. A message appears. A person smiles. They say the perfect sentence. They talk about the future. They make you feel chosen. But somewhere inside you, something becomes quiet. Not excited. Not peaceful. Quiet, a small pause in your stomach. A little tension in your chest. A feeling you cannot explain. And because you cannot explain it, you dismiss it. You say, maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I'm scared. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. Maybe I should give them a chance. So you continue. You reply. You smile. You accept the explanation. You ignore the discomfort. Then weeks later, months later, sometimes years later, the truth appears. And the sentence comes out, I knew it from the beginning, not because you had evidence. Not because someone warned you. Not because they confessed. But because your body noticed something before your mind had the courage to organize it. That is gut feeling. And today, we are not treating gut feeling as magic. We are not calling it paranoia. We are not using it as an excuse to judge people unfairly. We are talking about the quiet intelligence of your body. The intelligence that notices tone, timing, energy, inconsistency, pressure, avoidance, and disrespect. The intelligence that says, something here is not matching. In The Gift of Fear, Gavin de Becker explains a powerful idea. Intuition can be a protective signal. Your body may collect small details faster than your conscious mind can explain them. And this matters deeply when choosing a soulmate, when choosing a spouse, when choosing the person who may enter your home, your future, your family, your nervous system, and your peace. Because the wrong person does not only break your heart. The wrong person teaches your body to live in alert mode, and the right person does not only love you. The right person gives your nervous system a place to breathe. Today's response code is simple. Train the feeling. Read the pattern. Choose peace. Part 1: Why people ignore the signal. Most people do not lose themselves because they had no intuition. They lose themselves because they ignored it. They felt the discomfort. They saw the contradiction. They noticed the strange reaction. They heard the answer that avoided the real question. But they talked themselves out of it. Because the person was attractive. Because the person had status. Because the family approved. Because the chemistry was strong. Because the attention felt good. Because the dream was too beautiful to question. This is where the danger begins. The mind can be seduced by words. The heart can be seduced by hope. But the body is harder to fool. The body asks different questions. Not, are they romantic? But do I feel safe? Not, do they say they love me? But do their actions make my body relax? Not, do they talk about marriage? But do they have the emotional maturity to build one? Not, do I feel butterflies? But do I feel peace? Because butterflies can come from anxiety. Chemistry can come from uncertainty. Obsession can come from inconsistency. Sometimes intense attraction is not love. Sometimes it is your nervous system trying to solve an emotional puzzle. This is why gut feeling must be trained. An untrained gut feeling may confuse fear with truth, but a trained gut feeling reads patterns. It does not react to one moment. It watches repetition. One late reply means nothing. A pattern of disappearing means something. One bad mood means nothing. A pattern of disrespect under pressure means something. One apology may matter. But repeated apologies without change mean everything. That is the difference between emotion and intuition. Emotion reacts. Intuition observes. Emotion panics. Intuition whispers. Emotion says, do something now. Intuition says, slow down and watch. Scene 1: The perfect message. Wrong feeling. Imagine this scene. You are looking at your phone. A message appears, I really see a future with you. Another message, you are different from everyone. Another one, I have never felt this way before. On the screen, everything looks beautiful. The words sound serious. The timing feels romantic. The sentence sounds like exactly what you wanted to hear. But inside your body, something does not fully open. You smile, but your chest is not relaxed. You want to believe it, but a quiet part of you says, why does this feel too fast? Why do I feel pressured to trust before trust was built? Why does this sound deep, but not steady? This is where many people make the first mistake. They treat big words as proof. But big words are not proof. Consistency is proof. A person can talk about the future before they have the discipline to show up in the present. A person can say, I want marriage before they know how to communicate. A person can say you are different while still repeating the same emotional patterns with everyone. A person can create emotional intensity before creating emotional safety. And your gut may feel that gap. It may feel that the words are ahead of the behavior. It may feel that the promise is bigger than the pattern. This is not paranoia. This is observation. In relationships, especially when choosing a spouse, early intensity can be dangerous when it replaces time. Because time reveals what words hide. Time reveals consistency. Time reveals discipline. Time reveals whether respect remains after comfort begins. Time reveals whether the person is serious or only emotionally excited. So when someone gives you the perfect message but your body feels unsure, do not attack them. Do not panic. Do not accuse. Just slow down. Let time test the words. Because anyone can sound like your future in the beginning. But only a mature person can behave like your future repeatedly. Response code. Do not trust intensity before consistency. Part 2, the body reads, mismatch. Your gut feeling is often not reacting to one sentence. It is reacting to mismatch. The words say one thing. The energy says another. The promise says future. The behavior says uncertain. The compliment says I value you. The pressure says move faster than you are ready. The apology says I care. The repetition says I am not changing. This is why intuition can feel confusing. The mind hears the sentence. The body hears the pattern. And when the sentence and the pattern do not match, the body becomes tense. You may not have proof yet, but you have a signal. That signal is not the final judgment. It is the beginning of attention. Your gut is not the judge. It is the alarm. Your mind is the investigator. And time is the witness. When all three agree, gut, mind, and time, you have your answer. Scene 2, the boundary test. Now imagine the second scene. You are talking to someone you may consider seriously. The conversation is good. They are charming. They are warm. They say they respect you. Then one day, you express a simple standard. You say, I prefer clear communication, or I do not like disappearing and coming back like nothing happened, or I need time before I trust deeply, or simply I am not comfortable with that. Now watch. Do they listen? Do they ask questions? Do they respect your pace? Or do they punish you? Do they become cold? Do they say, you are too sensitive, you think too much, you are difficult? I was just joking. You misunderstood me. This moment is not small. This moment is a window. Because when you set a boundary, you are not only communicating a need, you are seeing what happens when the other person does not get full access to you. A mature person can handle boundaries. They may not love the boundary. They may feel uncomfortable, but they do not punish you for having one. An immature person sees your boundary as rejection. A controlling person sees your boundary as a threat. An insecure person may turn your boundary into guilt. A manipulative person may make you apologize for asking for basic respect. This is why your gut feeling becomes loud during boundary moments. Your body is not only listening to their words, it is reading their reaction, their ego, their emotional discipline, their ability to respect you when you are not pleasing them. And this matters for choosing a spouse, because in marriage, you will have boundaries, you will have disagreements, you will have needs, you will have moments where you say no, you will have moments where you are tired, you will have moments where you cannot be perfect. So before marriage, you must know, can this person handle my humanity? Can this person handle my honesty? Can this person handle my no? Can this person handle a conversation without turning it into punishment? Because love is not proven when everything is easy. Love is proven when control is not in their hands. Response code. Watch how they treat your no. Part 3. Chaos can feel like chemistry. A lot of people ignore this scene. They say, they were just upset. They did not mean it. They are stressed. They love me, but they have a hard personality. Maybe, but marriage does not soften every hard personality. Sometimes marriage gives that personality more access to your life. That is why you cannot only ask, do they love me? You must ask, how do they behave when they are frustrated? Frustration reveals training. It reveals self-control. It reveals respect. A person who only respects you when they are happy does not respect you deeply. They respect their own comfort. A person who only communicates when you are easy does not have emotional maturity. They have emotional convenience. And your gut feeling notices this. It notices the shift in tone. It notices the silence used as punishment. It notices the joke that was not really a joke. It notices the way your body becomes smaller after expressing yourself. That is information. Do not throw it away just because the person becomes sweet again later. Sweetness after punishment does not erase the pattern. It can actually make the attachment stronger because now your body starts waiting for the sweet version to return. This is how people become attached to inconsistency. They are not addicted to love. They are addicted to relief. The relief after anxiety, the message after silence, the apology after hurt, the warmth after coldness. But peace is not relief. Peace is not finally. They are nice again. Peace is the absence of emotional threat. Choose the person whose presence does not require recovery. Scene 3. The apology without change. Now the third scene. This one keeps people stuck the longest. Imagine the person hurts you. Maybe they disappear. Maybe they disrespect your feelings. Maybe they speak harshly. Maybe they promise something and do not follow through. You express your pain. They apologize. They say, I am sorry. I did not mean it. I will change. I know I hurt you. I promise it will not happen again. And for a moment, your mind relaxes. You think, they understand now. They care. They are trying. They love me. And maybe they do, but love without change is not enough. Because the body does not build trust through emotional speeches. The body builds trust through repeated safety. The first apology may feel healing. The second apology may feel hopeful. The third apology may feel familiar. But after repeated apologies with the same behavior, your gut begins to shut down. You start feeling heavy even before the conversation begins. You start expecting the pattern. You stop believing the words, even when they sound sincere. And then, you feel guilty. You think, why can't I trust them? Why am I cold now? Why do I not feel the same? Because your body is not confused anymore. Your body has learned the pattern. It is saying, this apology does not protect me. This is a powerful truth. An apology can calm the moment. But only changed behavior repairs the relationship. When choosing a spouse, this matters deeply, because marriage will require forgiveness. But forgiveness does not mean volunteering for the same wound again and again. Forgiveness is beautiful when there is accountability. But forgiveness without change becomes self-abandonment. If someone apologizes but repeats the same behavior, your gut will stop responding to the apology. Not because you are cruel, because your nervous system is intelligent. It remembers, it says. We have seen this episode before. We know how this ends. This is not repair, this is a reset. And the relationship becomes a loop. Hurt, apology, hope, repeat. Hurt, apology, hope, repeat. Until one day you are not angry anymore. You are tired. That tiredness is also a message. Sometimes your gut feeling does not arrive as fear. Sometimes it arrives as exhaustion. Sometimes it arrives as emotional numbness. Sometimes it arrives as the quiet loss of desire to explain yourself again. And when that happens, listen. Your body may be saying, I cannot keep living in a cycle that my heart keeps romanticizing. Response code. Do not measure remorse by words. Measure it by change. Part 4. How to train the gut feeling. Now let us bring the idea back to training. The gift of fear points to a truth many people forget. Intuition often comes from subtle information. You may not consciously track every detail, but your body is still reading the room. That is why sometimes you cannot explain your feeling immediately. You just feel something. But later, the explanation arrives. You remember, they avoided direct questions. They pressured you to trust quickly. They became irritated when you set a boundary. They apologized beautifully, but changed nothing. They made you feel guilty for needing clarity. They made you feel anxious, then called it love. The evidence was there, but it was small. And because it was small, you ignored it. But small things repeated become a pattern. And a pattern is the truth. This is the training. You train your gut by respecting the first signal, but not blindly obeying it. You let the signal make you observe. You let the discomfort slow you down. You let time collect evidence. You let behavior speak louder than emotion. That is how intuition becomes accurate. Not because you are guessing, because you are learning. Every experience teaches your body. Every disappointment teaches perception. Every ignored red flag becomes a future warning. Every relationship pattern becomes emotional education. But only if you reflect. If you jump from person to person without reflection, pain becomes repetition. But if you reflect, pain becomes wisdom. You start noticing faster. You start choosing slower. You start trusting actions more than speeches. You stop needing 10 red flags before you believe the first 3. This is what it means to train gut feeling. Part 5. Can it make you 100% right about people? Now, can gut feeling make you 100% right about people? Here is the honest answer. Not if it is untrained. Not if it is mixed with anxiety. Not if it is controlled by old wounds. Not if it is based on fear of abandonment. But when gut feeling is trained by time, pattern, observation, and self-honesty, it can become frighteningly accurate. It can feel like you are always right because you are no longer guessing from emotion. You are reading from evidence. You have seen this tone before. You have seen this avoidance before. You have seen this fake apology before. You have seen this hot and cold behavior before. You have seen this rush before. You have seen this lack of respect before. So your body says, I know this pattern. Not because you are negative. Because you are experienced. And experience, when processed correctly, becomes intuition. This is why older, wiser people often sense things quickly. They may not explain it in a complicated way. They just say, I do not feel comfortable with this person. And later, they are right. Because their nervous system has a library of patterns, a library of tones, a library of behaviors, a library of consequences. This is why you must not shame yourself for becoming more selective. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming trained. You are not becoming difficult. You are becoming precise. You are not rejecting love. You are rejecting confusion. There is a difference. Part 6, the spouse test. When choosing a spouse, do not only ask, do I love them? Ask, do I feel emotionally safe with them? Can I speak honestly without being punished? Do their apologies lead to change? Do they respect my pace? Do they become more mature with time, or only more comfortable? Does my body relax after talking to them? Do I feel closer to peace, or closer to anxiety? These questions matter because the person you marry becomes part of your daily nervous system. Their mood enters your home. Their communication style enters your body. Their discipline affects your future. Their emotional maturity affects your children. Their conflict style affects your peace. So do not choose only the person who gives you butterflies. Choose the person whose presence does not make your body prepare for war. The wrong person makes you addicted to signs. The right person gives you patterns. The wrong person makes you question your worth. The right person makes your standards feel normal. The wrong person makes you perform for love. The right person allows you to rest in it. And this is how gut feeling helps. It does not choose for you. It protects your attention. It says, look carefully. Slow down. Do not rush. Do not ignore this. Do not explain away the pattern. Do not betray yourself to keep the fantasy. So what do you do next time your gut speaks? First, pause. Do not attack. Do not accuse. Do not create a story. Just pause. Second, observe what exactly happened. Was it one mistake or a repeated pattern? Was the apology followed by change? Was the boundary respected? Did your body feel calm or tense? Third, give it time. Time is the greatest truth detector. A fake personality can perform for a moment. Real character repeats. Fourth, write the facts, not the fantasy, not the fear, the facts. Because when emotions become high, memory becomes selective. Writing protects you from romanticizing pain. Fifth, trust the conclusion when the pattern becomes clear. You do not need to wait until you are destroyed to leave confusion. You do not need final proof to respect your discomfort. You do not need everyone to understand what your body already knows. This is maturity, not paranoia, not fear. Maturity, your gut feeling is not random. It is not here to ruin love. It is not here to make you suspicious of everyone. It is here to protect your peace. But it must be trained. Because fear can lie. Anxiety can exaggerate. Old wounds can confuse. But patterns do not lie. Repeated behavior does not lie. Your body after the conversation does not lie. Your peace around someone does not lie. So train the feeling. Read the pattern. Choose peace. Do not ignore the discomfort just because the words are beautiful. Do not silence your body just because the story looks perfect. Do not call confusion chemistry. Do not call anxiety love. Do not call inconsistency mystery. And when choosing a spouse, remember this. You are not only choosing someone to love, you are choosing the emotional atmosphere of your future. You are choosing the person your nervous system will live beside. So choose the one whose love does not require you to abandon yourself. Choose the one whose consistency makes your body believe in safety. Choose the one who respects your no. Choose the one whose apology becomes change. Choose the one whose presence feels like peace, not a puzzle. Because sometimes the soul knows before the story ends. Sometimes the body hears the truth before the words arrive, and sometimes the first warning is not loud because it was not meant to entertain you. It was meant to protect you. This is the response code. Train the feeling. Read the pattern. Choose peace. And never ignore the quiet part of you that says, "My body knows something my heart is not ready to admit."